The Social Security Fairness Act. Do you really have to wait one more year for your increase to appear? Hello, members, super savers, and Bond Course fans. I hope you're healthy and well. The Social Security Fairness Act, one of the last acts signed into law by former President Biden on January 5th, 2025. Some people's benefits will increase very little, while others may be eligible for over $1,000 more each month, according to the Social Security Administration. The bad news for those of you expecting an increase is this. While the Social Security Fairness Act was signed into law earlier this month, it may be a long wait before you see your Social Security check actually go up. Perhaps not until 2026. At least that's the estimate at the current time. And that's even if you qualify for an increase, because despite the hope that its title may give, it will only increase Social Security benefits for a very specific group of people. So, in today's video, let's talk about the Social Security Fairness Act and where it's all going wrong right now, and why you'll see those dollars potentially much later than you had expected, even if you're entitled to a bump up in Social Security benefits. As usual, here's our front of video disclaimer. For a detailed disclaimer, please refer to the end of this video. Let's dive in now, folks. The Social Security Fairness Act. The Social Security Fairness Act technically repeals two other laws, the Windfall Elimination Provision, WEP, and the Government Pension Offset, GPO, both from the big 1983 reform of Social Security. The details are complex, but in essence, both the WEP for actual beneficiaries and the GPO for spouses, respectively, had tried to eliminate possible windfalls or double dipping into retirement benefits. The problem that the WEP and GPO tried to fix is the following. Under Social Security, retirees with low income throughout their lifetime and who only pay lower Social Security contributions because of their lower income can, under some conditions, get a government subsidy that will increase their Social Security benefits to a higher level in retirement. I won't go into the technical details here, but it's usually done by increasing the primary insurance amount, the basis for all later benefits, by a government subsidy. So basically, the purpose of the government subsidy to low earners is to help people with a lifetime of low income through retirement by providing a certain minimum level of benefits. That said, not everyone who looks like they're low income based on their Social Security contribution record is really low income. Some people may look poor to the Social Security Administration and hence qualify for a government subsidy even though they may have a more or less generous pension from outside the system. The two most often quoted groups of people with such an additional pension outside Social Security are 1. Government employees with their own separate government pension, including teachers, firefighters, police officers, and federal employees covered by the Civil Service Retirement System. And 2. People with a foreign pension. So, when Congress enacted the WEP and GPO in 1983, it felt that people with a generous pension from outside the system should not be subsidized by the government for their Social Security benefits on top. They saw that a bit like a windfall or double dipping, so to speak, as I mentioned earlier, and took the government subsidies away. And please do note that the WEP and GPO should not apply to many retirees with a company pension, as these will often have been higher earners throughout their lifetime and will have Social Security contributions large enough to exclude them from a government subsidy. Now, the Social Security Fairness Act will reinstate these government subsidies that had previously been eliminated by the WEP and GPO for about 3.2 million people, according to the Social Security Administration. As I also touched upon earlier, some people's benefits will increase very little, while others may be eligible for over $1,000 more each month. But before anyone gets their hopes up, not every teacher, firefighter, police officer, or federal employee will see a boost to their Social Security benefit. So, for example, the Social Security Administration says that most state and local public employees, about 72%, work in Social Security covered employment where they pay Social Security taxes and are not affected by WEP or GPO. Those individuals will not receive a benefit increase due to the Social Security Fairness Act. But even if you are one of those 3.2 million Americans who should see a benefit increase, don't hold your breath. or even think about where to put those extra dollars yet, because you may not be seeing them for a long, long time. Where it's all going wrong right now. So, the Social Security Administration says that it may take more than a year before it can get to your case and actually increase your benefits. This comes from the fact that while the Social Security Fairness Act does increase the benefits, it does not provide any funding to implement the new rules, meaning that it does not provide any money to hire additional employees to process and approve all those 3.2 million potential claims, which is very arduous as it seems. The Act requires the Social Security Administration to adjust benefits for over 3 million people. Since the law's effective date is in the past, the Social Security Administration must adjust some people's past benefits as well as future benefits. Processing these changes is very complex, and the Social Security Administration's analysis shows that much of the work must be done manually on an individual case-by-case basis. The Social Security Administration is currently processing pending or new claims involving future benefits and developing procedures and automated solutions for computing retroactive benefits. The solution at this point seems to be just ask the public for patience and work through the incoming caseload with the existing staff, even if it may take a year or longer for some cases. And I have to say, the Social Security Administration seems to be caught between a rock and a hard place. They have a national 800 number where callers can learn more about the Social Security Fairness Act. However, more than 7,000 people each day still choose to wait to speak to a representative about the act. These calls, as well as visitors and appointments in local offices, will continue to increase over the coming weeks and months. Drop a comment below. What outstanding questions do you have about the Social Security Fairness Act or Social Security in general? Because 7,000 calls per day is a lot of calls and questions. I've also linked this Q&A that the Social Security Administration put out on the Social Security Fairness Act in the first pinned comment below this video. It contains explanations on what you should do now if you think you might be entitled to higher benefits from the Act. Now, the good news, and yes, there is a silver lining. The good news is that for those who are expecting more money as a result of the Social Security Fairness Act, the increase will be paid retroactively, beginning with January 2024. So you will not lose your additional benefits, even if the Social Security Administration takes a little bit longer to process it. As I always say, though, there is no such thing as a free lunch. And because I know our Diamond NestEgg regulars will ask, yes, the Social Security Fairness Act will increase the federal budget deficit by about $200 billion over the next 10 years, according to the Congressional Budget Office, as the additional expense was not counterbalanced by extra income or cost cutting, meaning it will likely worsen the issues around Social Security ultimately running out of money and going into insolvency. Curious minds want to know, are you depending on Social Security as your sole or primary source of income in retirement? If yes, how worried are you about Social Security running out of money? And if no, what other sources of retirement income are you relying on? All right, members, super savers, and Bond Course fans, I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something new. And for those of you who are looking for an additional stable and predictable source of retirement income, check out this video here on our beginner and intermediate bond courses and see how you can lock in some of the attractive rates on medium and longer dated bonds right now. Use coupon code BONDS2025 to get an additional 10% off of our popular bond course bundle before the end of this coming week. The 10% coupon code BONDS2025 can also be used to purchase Bond Beginners or our intermediate level course, Bond Masters, individually. I've also linked all the details on our bond courses and YouTube Super Saver membership below this video for your convenience. And see you again very soon with more brand new wealth building content for your financial journey.